Have you ever watched the legendary Mike Tyson in his prime and wondered why no one fights like that anymore? Tyson was a force to be reckoned with, and his Peekaboo style, like a whirlwind in the boxing ring, captivated audiences. It wasn't just about speed, power, or aggression. No, it was a masterful blend of technique and ferocity, a revolution in the sport. The Peekaboo style transformed Tyson into an unstoppable force, with the ability to evade punches, slip inside, and deliver explosive combinations that left opponents reeling. But what happened to this iconic technique? Why don't we see anyone successfully adopt it since Tyson? Was it too risky or too demanding for other fighters? Or was Tyson truly the only one capable of harnessing its power? To uncover the answers, we need to dive deep into the origins of this unique boxing style, tracing back to the genius of Cus D'Amato, Tyson's mentor. D'Amato faced numerous challenges in his time. His shorter fighters struggled against taller opponents, facing an uphill battle with reach and height disadvantages. He needed to innovate, and innovate he did. But as we explore the Peekaboo's evolution, we'll discover not just a fighting style, but a complex narrative interwoven with triumph and tragedy. A tale of a young boy rising through adversity, a bond between a trainer and his prodigy, and the impact it left on the world of boxing. So, fasten your gloves, and let's step into the ring of boxing history. The Peekaboo Style explained. The Peekaboo Style, developed by the legendary trainer Cus D'Amato, was designed to create a unique fighting approach that allowed shorter boxers, like Mike Tyson, to effectively compete against taller opponents. This technique was characterized by its focus on head movement, allowing fighters to dodge punches while still remaining aggressive. It emphasized bobbing and weaving, making it difficult for adversaries to land clean shots. Tyson, who became synonymous with this style, utilizes incredible speed and strength to execute quick combinations that overwhelmed his opponents. The Peekaboo style didn't rely on height or reach, allowing fighters to fight low, always in motion, and apply pressure. D'Amato's philosophy was revolutionary, aiming to break away from the predictability of traditional boxing stances. Tyson exemplified these principles, using constant movement to become an elusive target. His impressive footwork, combined with the defensive posture of keeping his gloves high, created a nearly impenetrable guard. This style was not just about offense. It was equally about defense, allowing Tyson to slip punches and retaliate with stunning counterattacks. However, what made the Peekaboo truly special was its psychological impact, as the sight of Tyson in the ring, with his muscles rippling, stalking his opponents, often caused them to falter even before the fight began. This style, while effective for Tyson, poses a challenge for most fighters today. It requires an exceptional level of stamina, agility, and conditioning, which many modern heavyweights struggle to attain. Unfortunately, the Peekaboo style has largely disappeared from contemporary boxing, as the sport has evolved significantly, favoring taller fighters with a more upright technique. Despite this, the Peekaboo style remains a significant part of boxing history, showcasing a moment where technique and talent aligned perfectly. Cus D'Amato, the genius behind the style. In the competitive world of boxing, trainers play a crucial role, but few have left an indelible mark like Cus D'Amato. Born in the early 20th century, D'Amato was not just a trainer, he was a visionary. In the 1950s, he faced a challenge. He had talented fighters under his wing, yet they lacked the height and reach advantages that their opponents often possessed. D'Amato understood the weaknesses of traditional boxing techniques, which were often predictable and too slow, so he sought to create something revolutionary. This desire led him to develop a style that would empower shorter fighters. He aimed for them to get inside their opponent's reach without being picked apart. This was the heart of the Peekaboo style, the birth of the Peekaboo. The Peekaboo style was a groundbreaking innovation in boxing, born out of necessity, as legendary trainer Cus D'Amato faced a significant challenge in the 1950s. He was working with talented fighters but they often lacked the height and reach advantages that their opponents possessed. D'Amato sought to level the playing field, needing a unique system, one that would allow shorter fighters to close the distance and effectively engage taller opponents without getting picked apart. Unlike traditional boxing techniques, which were often predictable, D'Amato envisioned something revolutionary, a fighting style that relied heavily on head movements so agile that opponents would find it nearly impossible to land a clean shot, with explosive footwork that allowed fighters to dart in and out of range in the blink of an eye. The combinations he developed were so fast that they would catch opponents off guard, giving them little to no time to react. But most importantly, the Peekaboo style did not hinge on height or reach. It was designed for a smaller fighter to outmaneuver and outsmart larger opponents. This was a radical departure from conventional boxing wisdom. The style was all about bobbing, weaving, and staying mobile, creating a fluid and unpredictable fighting rhythm. D'Amato's first great success with this style came when Floyd Patterson became the youngest heavyweight champion at just 21 years old in 1956. The Peekaboo technique enabled Patterson to slip inside of his opponent's jabs, unleashing lightning-fast combinations that left his opponents bewildered. Thus, the Peekaboo style was officially born, marking a transformative moment in boxing history, paving the way for its most famous practitioner, Mike Tyson, who would take this unique style to unprecedented heights. Mike Tyson, the perfect fit. In 1979, a young, troubled youth named Mike Tyson met the legendary trainer, Cus D'Amato, whose vision transformed boxing forever. Tyson, a natural fit for the Peekaboo style, possessed explosive power, remarkable speed, and an innate talent for head movement. D'Amato recognized that Tyson's short stature was an advantage. It allowed him to slip inside the reach of taller opponents. Instead of merely standing and trading punches, Tyson, under D'Amato's guidance, learned to use movement, deviation, and angles in ways that were previously unparalleled. Tyson's unique attributes amplified the effectiveness of the Peekaboo style, making him one of the most feared heavyweights in boxing history. D'Amato drilled intense techniques into Tyson, focusing on combinations that left no chance for rebuttal. The synergy between D'Amato's teaching and Tyson's raw talent resulted in a boxing powerhouse. By 1985, Tyson's rise to the heavyweight championship was meteoric, capturing the title at just 20 years old. His mastery of the Peekaboo style overwhelmed opponents, who struggled against his relentless aggression and head movement. Tyson's blend of power, quick footwork, and defensive skills exemplified the Peekaboo technique taken to perfection. His ability to close distance swiftly and erupt with devastating combinations made him nearly unbeatable during his prime years. The combination of D'Amato's mentorship and Tyson's natural abilities not only defined his legacy, but also illustrated the peak of the Peekaboo style in boxing. Mike Tyson became the embodiment of what Peekaboo boxing represented, a unique fusion of defensive and offensive prowess that left a lasting impact on sport, inspiring future generations of fighters, both in technique and attitude. The height of dominance. As Mike Tyson stepped into the ring, he embodied the Peekaboo style like no other. With his gloves held high, he presented an impenetrable defense, while constantly bobbing and weaving, creating an elusive target. His footwork was explosive, allowing him to close the distance in an instant, leaving opponents stunned and defenseless. Tyson's combinations were blisteringly fast, often landing before his adversaries even had a chance to react, which was crucial in his ascent to dominance. From 1985 to 1986, he forged an unparalleled winning streak, securing victories that were characterized by knockout finishes, his signature move. Tyson's power, at this time, was unmatched, earning him the fear and respect of anyone who dared to enter the ring with him. But it wasn't just his physical attributes. It was the psychological warfare he waged. The sheer sight of him, muscles rippling, gloves raised high, created an atmosphere of intimidation before the fight even began. Many contenders were defeated by the time the first bell rang. This combination of skill and fear made Tyson an unstoppable force, demonstrating the peak of what the Peekaboo Style could achieve. He became the youngest heavyweight champion in history at just 20 years old, toppling opponents with a ferocity that seemed to redefine boxing. However, as astonishing as this dominance was, it would also sow the seeds for future challenges, as the world would soon witness how swiftly a fighter's luck can turn, and how the very techniques that elevate one to greatness might also lead to their undoing. But for that brief period, Tyson stood alone at the pinnacle of the sport, a true master of his craft, forging a legacy that still resonates in boxing today. Decline of the Peekaboo Style. The decline of the Peekaboo Style can be traced back to the tragic passing of its most famous proponent, Mike Tyson's mentor, Cus D'Amato, in 1985. Tyson had been the embodiment of the Peekaboo technique, utilizing its rapid head movements, explosive footwork, and aggressive combinations to dominate the heavyweight division. However, after D'Amato's death, Tyson began to drift away from the pure Peekaboo style that had made him champion. Personal issues, including tumultuous relationships, legal troubles, and a chaotic lifestyle, contributed to this decline. By the time Tyson faced Buster Douglas in 1990, the cracks in his once unshakable technique began to surface, exposing vulnerabilities that opponents could exploit. The heavyweight boxing landscape was also evolving. Taller fighters began to dominate, capitalizing on their reach and using jabs to control distance, making it increasingly difficult for a Peekaboo fighter to effectively close the gap. Moreover, many trainers became less familiar with the intricacies of the Peekaboo style after D'Amato's disciples, like Teddy Atlas, faded from prominence. This meant that even talented fighters struggled to execute the style at the highest level. As Tyson struggled through defeats and personal issues, the Peekaboo style gradually transformed into a historical curiosity. Today, while elements of Peekaboo can still be seen in modern boxing, the complete package that defined Tyson's reign seems to belong to a bygone era. Ultimately, the Peekaboo style's decline reflects the unique circumstances that allowed it to flourish, showcasing how easily a legendary technique can fade without the right context. The evolution of boxing. Boxing, which dates back thousands of years, has undergone significant transformations as the sport has evolved in various aspects, including technique, rules, and training methods. Early boxing, often referred to as bare-knuckle fighting, prioritized raw strength and resilience over tech. Legacy of the Peekaboo style. The Peekaboo style, introduced by the legendary trainer Cus D'Amato, transformed boxing in incredible ways. It not only allowed shorter fighters like Mike Tyson to excel against taller opponents, but it also created a dynamic style that showcased the effectiveness of head movement, explosive footwork, and quick combinations. As Tyson entered the ring, showcasing this revolutionary technique, he captured the boxing world's attention and struck fear into the hearts of his adversaries. Despite its powerful foundation, the Peekaboo style faded after Tyson's reign. The evolution of boxing brought forward taller, more technically sound fighters, who changed the dynamics of the heavyweight division. As traditional fighting styles adapted to these new trends, the Peekaboo became less practical, often overshadowed by fighters. The Peekaboo style, once a revolutionary technique, symbolizes the brilliant yet fleeting legacy of Mike Tyson. While we may never see another fighter replicate his dominance with this style, the myth and fascination surrounding it endure, defining a transformative chapter in boxing history. The unique combination of speed, power, and ferocity that Tyson brought to the ring captured the imagination of fans and analysts alike, as he changed the way we understand the heavyweight division. Tyson's journey reflects not just the peak of his career, but also the complexities behind maintaining such a dominating style. As the boxing landscape evolved, so did the techniques utilized by modern fighters. seeking to adapt to an ever-changing sport. However, the foundational elements of Peekaboo boxing, the head movement, footwork, and psychological warfare, continue to influence many athletes, proving the enduring impact of D'Amato's genius. It's essential to remember that boxing isn't just about physicality. It intertwines with psychology, strategy, and the human spirit. Tyson's story stands testament to this, showcasing both the heights of success and the depths of struggle, emphasizing the human aspect of sport. In conclusion, Tyson's Peekaboo style left an indelible mark, igniting the imagination of generations. Its principles resonate, reminding us that while styles may evolve, the legends crafted through them live on, inspiring today's fighters to carve their own paths in the ring.